I can't do it all on my own. No, I know, She was beautiful. Way out of my league. But she wanted a normal guy. And honestly, there's no way I ever could have got a class act like that by being anything other than a perfectly normal guy. I remember the first time we met. I was bent over a pinball machine, rocking out high schoolers with. I looked to my right, and there she was. And she was looking at me. I remember the left flipper wasn't working very well, so I did my best to keep it to the right, but when it eventually fell left, we both yelled like a couple of school kids rolling down a mountain. 5 minutes conversing later, call me. Okay. And that is the story of how I met Lois Lane. In a world much like this one, in a time not at all that dissimilar from our own, there was a man. There was a man. His name was Stuart. You see, Stuart was a pretty regular guy with a few quirks. But through his, well, mundaneness, Stuart manages to show us all that we don't have to be Superman to get the girl. You don't have to be Superman to hold the job. All you have to be is yourself. I now present Man, Not Superman by Jonathan Goldstein. You know, there was something really interesting about Lois. You know, most of the things that my ex-girlfriends had found off-putting, perturbing, disgusting, gross, smelly, wet, damp, or disfigured, Lois found charming. For example, she loved how soft my arms are. And not in like a creepy way or anything. They're just soft and easy to fall asleep on. I remember one night when I was feeling particularly outgoing. I drew eyelashes above my nipples and a mouth around my belly button. She came home to, and I always love you. And she loved every minute of it. Or another instance, when we went to the grocery store, and to preface the story, I hate olives. But I bought one whole jar of olives because one of them looked like a very old, very grumpy, very old man with a pimento mouth. By the time he left the store, he had a name, Richard, and he said things like, "Get me out of here, my butt's asleep. Where's the prune juice?" Old people things. Honestly, things between Lois and I were going great. There was just one problem. One beautiful, massive, hulking hunk of Kryptonian babe named Superman. You see, Superman and Lois were in a lot of the same social circles. It wasn't all that uncommon for them to bump into each other. So, honestly, I wasn't shocked when I got the call. Bing! Bing! Hello? Stuart! It's Superman. You can't see it, but I'm devilishly grinning at you right now. Hi. What can I do for you? Well, look, Stuart. I'd like to keep Lois in my life, so that means you and I are gonna have to get to know each other. Look, I hate to pry, but Lois tells me you're out of a job. Is that true? Yeah. The economy, right? Yeah, the economy and your total lack of a post-secondary education there, bud. I'm looking for a sidekick. I'm done with the whole lone wolf bravado. What do you think? That's very flattering, but honestly, I can't even get to the post office before noon to buy stamps. I really don't think I'm cut out for superhero work. Stuart, you saucy minx. Look, just think about it and get back to me. I didn't know what to do! I'm not cut out to be a sidekick to Superman. I'm not even cut out to be a sidekick for slightly better than mediocre man. But when Lois and I went out to dinner that night, she talked about it like it was a done deal. It'll be so good for you to get back into the workforce and finally have a stable income again. Several glasses of red wine and a lot of bad decisions later, I was going to be a sidekick. The first day on the job wasn't great. What is this? That is your uniform. It looks like it was made for a preemie. It was, but don't worry, it stretches. So I put on what was basically a skin-tight black unitard that made me look both skinny-legged and rotund around the middle. But its saving grace, across the chest, in small Helvetica font, Stuart. Stuart? That's your sidekick name. That's also my actual lower my voice. That is also my actual name. Stuart. You saucy minx. Look, I'm sure we're gonna get along just fine. Most of my job was fairly menial. I typed memos, superly. Boring! Yes, he saved someone, answered the press superly, and the end of all that, did a seemingly infinite amount of crunches. He called my gut a crime against humanity. His favorite joke was, "Oh, what'd she do? Mixes with sauce on them." He's the one with x-ray vision. He should know, first of all. And second, I couldn't really do much but just remember my mantra. I have seen Lois Lane in her underwear. And when I get home from work tonight, I might get to see her in her underwear some more. Stuart. With the new job and Lois still by my side, life was good. Like, really good. Better than, I ever expected my normal life to be. Until one very particular Thursday. You see, Thursday is the day that the superheroes like to get together, have a drink, eat some chicken wings, discuss their super activities. I sat at the little kids' table. Let me describe the spread. There was the Flash's sidekick, who was probably 80 or 90 million. He looked like Moses had wheeled him across the Dead Sea because he was too old to walk then. But from what I understand, the Flash's parents recently separated. His dad was not taking to it too well. He mostly stayed in the car. And then there was the Wonder Woman's mousy little college girl thing. She was usually good for That's it. That's all she did. And last and certainly not least in kilograms, the boy wonder himself, Robin. It's sad when a 16-year-old boy wears underwear outside of his pants. It's tragic when a 32-year-old, 278-pound man still wears his underwear outside of his pants. And then there was me. I remember the exact moment Lois walked in. She opened the door. The breeze blew back her hair just a little bit, and she was smiling as usual. She walked in confidently and almost instinctively kissed Superman. Lois and I broke up that night. But not for anything I had done. Not because I wasn't Superman. Not because I was anything other than Stuart. But because I didn't think our relationship was going to work. Some people, they feel sorry for me, but you know what? It's all right. I know. I'm no Superman.